The forgotten basement. The house had been standing for decades, its walls bearing the marks of time and neglect. It was a small two-story house nestled in the outskirts of town, surrounded by trees and overgrown bushes. Despite its decrepit state, it had managed to catch the attention of a young couple looking for a new home. Sarah and Jack had always been fascinated by old houses, with their hidden rooms and secret passageways that gave them a sense of adventure. The house they had laid eyes on seemed like the perfect match for their taste. The seller was eager to get rid of it, and sold it to them for a steal. It wasn't until they had signed the papers and moved in that things started to take a sinister turn. The basement was one of the rooms that Jack had neglected to check when they were inspecting the house. It was a small, damp space that seemed to be forgotten by time. The air was thick with the smell of mold and decay, and the stone walls bore the markings of previous tenants. The couple ignored the basement at first, blocking it off with a hastily erected barricade made of old boxes and furniture. However, things started to feel off soon after they moved in. They would hear strange noises coming from the basement, like something scratching against the walls or shuffling around. Their dog, who had been excited to explore their new home at first, started to whine and hide behind them whenever they got close to the basement. One night, Sarah couldn't bear it anymore. She had been having terrible nightmares every night since they moved in, and the sounds coming from the basement had grown too loud to ignore. She grabbed a flashlight and gingerly made her way down the stairs. The temperature dropped as soon as she descended into the basement. The air was thick with a musty smell, and she could hear her own heart beating in her ears. She shone the flashlight around the room and instantly regretted her decision. On the wall opposite her was a chalk drawing of a strange symbol. It was a circle with a series of lines drawn through it, like a spider web. A small candle had been lit at the center of the circle, casting an eerie glow around the room. Sarah realized with a start that the noises they had been hearing were coming from the center of the circle. It was then that she heard a low growling sound coming from behind her. She spun around and found herself face to face with a creature that seemed to be made entirely of shadows. It was hunched over, its eyes glowing an unearthly red. Its mouth opened wide, revealing a set of razor-sharp teeth. Sarah screamed and darted up the stairs, running to wake up Jack. When they both went back down to the basement, the barricade had been removed, and the creature was nowhere to be found. From then on, they never approached the basement again, and the house they had once loved became a place of dread and fear. They eventually left, never looking back and never speaking of the horrors they had encountered in the forgotten basement.